There's a lot more to it than that.
And
Yeah,
then
they're now what I
reset it. And
on
so, okay, I'm not quite done yet. I'm not quite done yet.
myself.
I'm going to go forward with the contested hearing because is it not legal to exceed the speed limit by 5 miles an hour when you're in the fast lane passing a vehicle?
Right? Is that why you're
Absolutely
doing it?
not. But you
Is
ended
that
at
why
the
you're
fault
doing it?
judgment and I'm in
Ma'am,
the court.
if you don't stop talking, I'm going to kick you out of the courtroom. You cannot interrupt the proceeding this way.
If you break a law and you're not happy about getting picked up for it, all you have to do is make up your own laws. Just like this Karen. She was convinced that she was right, and the judge just let her talk. And she had a bit of a Karen outburst at the end.
Tuesday, September 6th, at the end of the day, to complete that application, return it to the court. Okay, so that gives you just about a week and a half. And then you have 60 days from today to pay the $150. Okay, ma'am?
So in the background, we got a naked man and she smoking a cigarette.
How do I go about paying that?
You can come by the courthouse and pay that, or you can also give them a call and you can pay it online. Or excuse me, you can pay it over the phone as well. So if you have any questions, call the clerk or you can come in and pay that, okay?
And one more time, what was the name of the application?
It's the traffic deferral program. If you have any questions, you can also come in the clerk and they can print that out for you and give it to you, okay? All right, thank you, ma'am. All right, Mr. Wyatt. So
yeah, I'm going to take the traffic deferral program.
All right, so same thing for you, sir. You have until the 6th at the end of the day to pay that. For
Okay.
you, it's $200 because you have two different infractions.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So $200 within 60 days of today. Okay, sir.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, the reason I left the previous two cases play a little bit there is to just briefly explain what's going on. So for minor traffic infractions in that area, they allow you to do a deferral program. Basically, if you behave yourself for a set amount of time, pay a small fee and it doesn't go on your driving record. Or you can contest it and go to trial. They have a little mini trial and then there's a summary decision about whether or not you're guilty. This Karen, when she gets offered it, no, I'm gonna fight it. Now, before we get into the video, I want you to come up with a nickname for this lady, but be nice, but not too nice.
Okay.
All right, Ms. Fisher, can you hear me okay? Need you to unmute yourself, ma'am. All right.
Okay.
You do qualify for our traffic deferral program if you're interested in that. If you want to do that, you can do it once every 7 years. You're required to complete an application for the program by Tuesday, September 6th. You pay $150 thereafter within 60 days in full, and then stay out of trouble for a period of 1 year. At the end of that 1 year, the speeding ticket would be dismissed and it would never go on your driving record. If you were to get into any trouble during that 1 year, it would go on your driving record, but you would not owe any more money. Is that something you're interested in, ma'am, or do you prefer to go forward with the contested hearing?
Let's ask the late, great Louis Armstrong. Nope. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Go ahead and raise your right hand. You promise to tell the truth under penalty of perjury?
I swear to tell the truth under felony of perjury.
Felony of perjury, eh?
I swear to tell the truth under felony of perjury.
All right, go ahead, ma'am. What would you like to tell me?
I do believe it is legal in the state of Washington, is it not, to exceed the speed limit by 5 miles an hour in order to pass a vehicle in the fast lane?
There is no such law that I'm aware of, no, ma'am. What else you want to tell me?
That's what I was doing. I was passing a vehicle I was in the fast lane, passing a vehicle that was going 70 miles an hour. I exceeded the speed limit to pass the vehicle.
All right. And how fast were you going when you passed the vehicle?
Excuse me?
How fast were you going when you passed the other vehicle?
75 miles an hour.
All right, let's look at what the officer indicated. So the officer says that he was using his Pro Laser infrared LiDAR system L1424. He's been instructed and certified on the operation of that he observed the defendant traveling at a visibly high rate of speed in excess of the posted speed limit. He placed the red dot sight on the defendant's vehicle and obtained a reading of 82 miles per hour.
Oh, no. I was going 75 and he ticketed me for 75.
He did ticket you for 75. Let me finish what his report says, please. Says you were going 82 at a distance of 1,604.1 feet in the 75, or excuse me, in the 70 mile per hour zone. This reading was consistent with his initial speed estimate of the vehicle. He had a clear and unobstructed view of the defendant's vehicle, and he's 100% certain that the LiDAR reading was obtained from the defendant's vehicle. He tested the system both internally and externally at the beginning and into the shift. The LiDAR unit passed each of those checks and was working properly at the time of the violation. Doesn't indicate of any statements made by you thereafter. All right, so that's what the officer said. Your position is that you were going 75 to pass another vehicle in the fast lane?
And he ticketed me at 75.
Yes, he did. Yep. Anything else, ma'am, that you want to say?
No.
All right. Based on the officer's report, I am going to find it committed, ma'am. I am going to lower it though from the 108 down to as low as I can go, which is $90. You do have 60 days to pay that or make payment arrangements, ma'am.
But is that going to go on my driving record?
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
You have another question, ma'am, before I move on?
no, sir, thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Well, she took that pretty well. At least she accepted what the judge was saying.
This whole fucking thing is bullshit.
All right. Last one we have is
I may have spoken too soon. I don't know where she gets off saying this whole thing is effing bull S or whatever. It's like, dude, you were going 84 miles an hour in a 70. The cop cut you a break by making it 75. Then you decided to make up your own law, or maybe you read it on Facebook or something. I love the bit where she was like, I do believe that it is legal to go over the speed limit by 5 miles an hour in order to pass the car when you're going in the fast lane. Right? And then the world's most deadpan judge is just like, there is no such law. Moving on. Then at the end of the video, he asks her if she accepts that or whatever, and she's like, yes. I accept it. Thank you, Your Honor.
This is all fluff and bullshit.
And then Judge Deadpan over here once again with the... Anyway, moving on to the next matter. Well, folks, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, because I've got that, you know that thing where you can barely talk because you're just so happy. There's nothing better than seeing a smug Karen get shut down like that. Anyway, folks, thanks so much for watching the video. We'll catch you in the next one. Sancha, court. Mostly in person when I was working in one. But over the past few months, I've been watching a lot of it here online. You see a lot of really interesting characters, a lot of really interesting cases for the law nerds. But our favorite of all, I'm sure you can all agree, and let me know down below if you agree, has to be Major Karens getting it handed to him. And this one is without a doubt one of the biggest Karens I've ever seen in one of these videos. This lady is so entitled and so nasty, and the way she speaks to the judge with such disrespect is unbelievable. So check it out and let me know what you think down below.
Mr. Kaiser, you want to come up and take a seat there? And Ms. Ridley, you're on the Zoom call?
Yes, I'm here.
Can you unmute yourself? Thank you. So these are cross petitions against each other. Ms. Ridley initially filed against Mr. Kaiser. Mr. Kaiser subsequently served Ms. Ridley. And then it says on the docket here, there was the issue of electronic service. Had you been served with this, ma'am? Were you aware this is happening?
I know that we could electronically serve someone. The courts told me I couldn't electronically serve him because I could have easily done that. So I don't know
So,
why
ma'am,
an appropriate service for him.
was that? No, I'm not sure what you're saying. Are you saying that this is improper service and you want to reset, or, but the important thing is you got it. And so we can either proceed today on these, or we could I mean, you're here now, we can get you a copy of it and then reset it. And so, okay, I'm not quite done yet.
Mute myself then.
Yeah, mute yourself then, Karen, because you're not winning anything here if you keep interrupting the judge. We're off to a blinding start here.
So I kind of up to you as to how you want to proceed here today.
So I need clarity, Your Honor. I was told sending an email was not appropriate service, that I would have to have the sheriff or, okay, so what I'm asking is the court now considering his alleged service via email adequate service? Because then I was denied that right.
it's kind of up to you. If you say that, yes, I got it and I'm ready to go forward, that's fine. If you say, no, that was improper service, we'll get you a copy of it. Have you consider you served today and then go on.
Okay, well, with that being said, I guess I'll go ahead and proceed today, but I really feel like I should have been given that opportunity as well to serve the email.
The, again, I don't know what conversations you have with others. In terms of what Mr. Kaiser chose to do, frankly, he was in front of me and I remember talking about that. I did indicate the statute does have some provisions in there about when that's allowed. And then he chose to do it and you're here and it wasn't something that was granted by the court or anything. And so that's kind of where we're at. And so, like I say, if you want ready to go forward here today, having seen this stuff, we can. If you think that you need some additional time, given the manner of service, I'll allow that. That's up to you also. So it's entirely up to you as to how you want to proceed. A minute ago, you told me you wish to continue here today, which we can certainly do. But again,
I would just like to be treated equally to everyone else through the courts, because for him, if I read it correctly, Your Honor, you gave him a temporary order against me, and I was the same option. So that's what I'm saying. He's a grown man, way stronger than me, and you consider me more of a threat to him, and I wasn't given a temporary order, but you gave one to him.
Yeah, this ain't a birthday party. You don't get equal sized slices of the cake. Everything's looked at on a case by case basis. Now, I don't know that guy, but you seem pretty feckin' nuts to me.
That to me is biased, but we can proceed today.
Okay, because you filed first. It seems like you both want the same thing. And so I'm kind of confused as to why I'm involved. But that's, and I could just kind of leave that as kind of an open question. And with that, ma'am, I'll hear from you. Why is it that you feel like you need an order against Mr. Kaiser? And then I'll give him a chance to respond.
Well, because Mr. Kaiser is going out of his way to attack my character at every opportunity that's presented to him. I worked with them at the Masonic Memorial Cemetery, and I was already mistreated by him and my manager at the time, who he had served me the documents via email. So they basically abused the fact that they had access to all of my information as a former employee that worked for the place where he allegedly worked for a period of time, but he's no longer there. And while I was there, the reason why I stopped working there was because they were racist and biased and attacked me for another employee that Lauren made jealous by flirting with me in front of that employee, which caused her to be negative and aggressive towards me. And he blamed me for her behavior, didn't take any accountability for what he had done, which was be very flirtatious with me in front of her in the workplace. So he's the one to stay away from me. He's the one that called me several times and texted me where I had to call the police before. And you have the text messages, which you know the correspondence is not good. You probably can't even read it out loud. But he's the one that attacked me first in that group text message. He could have easily have sent me a private message saying, hey, Alexandria, you included me on this correspondence and I want nothing to do with it. And then I would have known he was accidentally included and I would have told him that and it would have been over. But he chose to attack me and try to expose me and slander me, even to my children. See, Lauren Kaiser doesn't have children. So he doesn't know how it feels to be violated in that way and how that can turn into someone being belligerent and wanting to attack you the way that you're attacking them. He doesn't have kids. So he has no idea what damage that may have done, but he should know in the court of law that when you slander someone in front of their children or to their children, that's grounds for a person to become irate.
Oh, I'm pretty full after all that word salad. So what you're getting at is that you want to get an order against him, not to protect yourself, not because you're worried about him coming after you or anything, but to give him a taste of his own medicine, to get back at him for something that he allegedly said or did about you, or the fact that he wasn't interested in you in that way. That's not what this is for.
Things kind of went sideways between you and Mr. Kaiser. And then you had submitted something on a group text. He responded with including this police report that had various allegations, which I know you disagree with. They're just allegations. And that's really kind of what, I'll use your words, made you irate. And that's part of the reason, or kind of why I hear. And when you say things like slander, is that what you're referring to? The circulation?
Yes, ever since he gets slandering me to my former employer, who was my manager. He has seniority over me and that manager when he was working there. So I feel like he's abusing his power even against that person, even though he's no longer there. He still has seniority over that person because he's on the board or whatever of the Masons. So he's abusing his power on several different levels, and he will not stop taking opportunities to attack my character, and him including all of my names. Who cares? Why don't he name all the 3 and 4 wives of his failed marriages that he had in the document?
Because they're not relevant.
He's attacking my, and he needs to get a taste of his own medicine. This man thinks he can do whatever he wants, and no one is supposed to react to him.
Again, protection orders are for protection. They're not to be used as a weapon or as a counteroffensive against somebody that you don't like.
Do you still work there where?
No, because of him. Because of him,
right.
I no longer work there because of our sexual relationship. His flirting in front of the girl he claims is like a daughter to him, but she wants to date him. She wants to have sex with him. She knew him before I did, and she got angry because he liked me. And she started assaulting me and saying little racist things to me when they weren't around. And when I brought it to Terry, who is the manager's position, who served me the documents, when I brought it to his attention that she was doing those nasty things to me in the workplace out of jealousy, they both jumped on her side against me.
Hold on in a minute.
So we've had problems ever since because he claims she's like a daughter. But that girl, I asked her if she was interested in Lauren and why her and Lauren didn't date if she liked him. And she said it was because she has a lot going on in her life and she didn't feel like Lauren was attracted to her. Well, that's not my problem, but he caused it with his bold flirtatiousness in the workplace.
Okay. So what I'm getting here is the guy's obviously a bit of a player of some description. You didn't like that, and now you got your panties all bunched up. You're trying to use a restraining order against him because you don't like what he said about you.
So ma'am, I'm going to hear from Mr. Kaiser now.
A few moments ago, she said that if I just would have told her privately that I didn't want her to contact me, she would have realized I was accidentally included in that text. In the text messages themselves, she writes, "File a restraining order if you want me to stop texting you, bitch. I hate your fake ass." So I would say that pretty much contradicts what she has to say there. I am asking that court dismiss her petition because I don't think that she's met any burden that's required to show that I've been harassing her. And I believe that, she has like 3 different petitions for restraining orders currently against 3 different parties pending before this court. She had one in July where somebody brought one against her neighbor, and then they dismissed it and she turned around and filed one against them. I think she's using this case as another way to harass me, and I am asking for a protection order. And given that she went over a year without contacting me and then started this up, I'd like it for an extended period of time, and I'm asking for 5 years.
And Ms. Ridley, I saw you speaking there as he was speaking. Go ahead.
I was muted, so I didn't.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm asking you now, what you were saying, so I know you were muted.
Well, what do those other restraining orders have to do with this? Why is everybody trying to dig in my past and find other ways to include things that have nothing to do with what's going on with me and that particular person?
It's what we call propensity, Karen. Ever hear of the boy who cried wolf? It was about a boy who cried wolf. If he can point out and say, look, this lady just throws restraining orders at people that she doesn't like, she uses it as a weapon for her own use, you can clearly see that she's nuttier than squirrel poo, so please dismiss. I'd say that's pretty reasonable.
This is about me and Lauren, okay?
Right.
If he wants to be deep about things, why don't he talk about what went on in the bedroom?
I'm listening.
Between me and...
Because that doesn't matter here.
Doesn't matter, does it? But he keeps saying things that don't matter, that has nothing to do with this. So he needs to stick to the subject at hand. And the reason why I said what I said to him was because of his former harassment of me. And at that time, I was belligerent and irate and wanting to attack him back because my actions was a reaction to Lauren's initial attack.
Every action has an opposite and equal reaction. Or in her case, every action has an opposite and equal overreaction.
If he had not attacked my character and tried to assassinate it before my family and closest friends, I would not have said what I said. So he started it, couldn't finish it, and now he's playing Karen the victim.
Really? Really? He's playing Karen the victim? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Really? I mean...
Get out of here.
And then you're talking about the text on the group text, yes?
Yes, you saw what he said, Your
I
Honor.
did.
You saw what I sent. I didn't send anything saying, Lauren, this is for you, or attacking Lauren at all personally. So he had no business trying to assassinate me before my children, on who he knew was on that group text.
I think on your comments, it seems like you were acquainted with each other.
Giggity.
Again, about a year ago. Again, I don't have the dates written down, but it was about a year ago through work. And then went quite an extended period of time without corresponding or talking, or is that correct?
And the only reason why that was because I cut Lauren off. And if you want me to forward that email correspondence, I'll send it to you where he was trying.
No, I don't need that. But
told him
okay.
no.
But my understanding is regardless of who cut who off, my understanding is that was started up again when you had some issues and
You're
reached
right.
out to him for whatever reason. I know that didn't work out, but I'm just saying the connection was reestablished when you reached out to him. Is that accurate?
What happened as a result of that? Yes, I was going to use Lauren for his judicial abilities. He's an attorney. So yes, I was going to use him and pay him. I told him I would pay him for his services. And he came to the jail to see me. So if he didn't want to have anything to do with me, why the hell even show up to the jail and act like you were going to help me?
Back up the truck. So you're telling me that this all happened a year ago? A whole year ago. The stuff that you say he said, which is why you want this order. Then somehow, for whatever reason, you ended up behind bars and you called the guy that you now want a restraining order against for something that happened way back then to come and bust you out. Am I missing something here? You said you cut him off for destroying your character and then you call him to get you out of jail. I'm flabbergasted by this lady. My gast has been well and truly flabbered.
Something's wrong with Lauren. He needs to get an evaluation. He's the one that needs help, not me. I'm already getting help. Thank you very much.
I think I speak for everyone when I say get more and get even more help for the person that has to help you in the first place.
Specifically asking that you dismiss her petition. She has not established anything that approaches me harassing her.
I'll go back to my original question here. So, and again, I also say, not all conflict, not all dysfunctional communication rises to the level of harassment. Sometimes it's just two people being mean to each other. And in that regard, I spoke earlier, why am I involved when you both want the same thing? And so based on everything I've said, I'm going to make a finding that in neither case at this point rises to the level of harassment. So both petitions are going to be denied. But I'm also going to say, after all this, after all these texts, hearing in court, you both know how you feel at each other. So I will say this, if any contact from either side reaches out to the other party, I would consider that harassing in the future. So Ms. Ridley, you send a text to Mr. Kaiser, he can come back and he'll get an order. It'll probably be longer for a year and he won't have to say too much about it. He'll get it. And the same is true for you. Mr. Kaiser reaches out to you. You can come back, you can ask for an order, and I tell you both, you'll probably get it. And so that's kind of where I'm at on that. So I'll hold you to your words that you don't want to contact each other, don't. And again, if either one of you contacts the other, we'll see you again. And the other person should not be prepared to argue too hard against it because after going through all this. You understand that, Ms. Ridley?
Yes, and I agree. Thank you.
And then I've entered denial orders and those can be emailed.
Okay, you're right.
You're welcome. You're free to leave the Zoom call there, Ms. Ridley.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, have a good day, Miss Ridley. Hope your bunny soup turns out nice. So folks, there we have it. We got a jilted lover here, that's what it is. Hell hath no fury, like a woman scorned. But this one had some fury, man, and she left it off at everybody. I don't think either of them should have got an order in this case, and thankfully the judge agreed with that. But I'd love to hear what you have to say about this whole case down below. Anyway, folks, we will catch you in the next one. If you enjoyed the video, make sure and hit the like button, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Consider grabbing yourself some Irish Demon merch as well. It's available in the description down below.
I'm gonna kind of try to start from the beginning, just, okay,
No,
so.
no.
Okay,
Stop.
Welcome back, lads and lassies. I hope you're looking forward to a snappy young Karen, because that's exactly what I got for you in Judge DeSanto's court today. Now, she's having a rough day as it is because her system's playing up, and it looks like this young one is starting to play up now too. Which one do you think is going to get it?
Do you need to go in a breakout room?
I do not, we do not. I don't know if Mr. Mana does.
No, I'm ready to talk about, we've been trying to get rent, and trying to get, Josh and Brittany to move out, and get our property back, and they refused. So I think we're ready to talk about it with you, Your Honor.
Okay, so this is the first hearing, so we're not on the record. This is a new filing, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Twina, how much are you indicating is owed in rent?
$2,775. That includes late fees. They have not paid for July, August, or September. I filed to have them ask them to move out, and we are not renewing our month-to-month lease in July. They said that they are not going to be moving out, and we've kind of just been in a holding pattern with no communication. As you mentioned in our last go around, they are not to arbitrarily just withhold rent for any reason, and they have just ceased to pay rent since our last talk.
Okay, hold on, please, hold on. I'm a little confused because were you just here, what month were you just here? Was it August?
June. The end of June.
June with Josh and Brittany.
That was the last time you were here? Wow, it seems like it was just last month. Okay.
That was for another property.
I'm sorry?
That was for another property.
Another property. Did they move to a different property?
No, I was here, but not with Josh and Brittany.
No, all of you were here. All of you were here because we came back a couple of times, and then there was something about electrical, and there was something about
yeah,
a window maybe.
There was a dormant bird's nest in the attic. They said that there was critters. They said there was bugs.
Okay, so yeah. So what month was that?
I think that was June.
Mm-hmm. The 23rd. 23rd.
Okay, and I apologize. With this online system, I don't have access. I can't figure out how to find the history of everything. So, anyway. Okay, so then you didn't pay rent in July?
They haven't paid rent since you've sent me or the court has sent me the escrow that was collected. They have not paid a full month's rent since you last held the escrow.
And how much is the rent again?
The rent is $850 and then $75 late fee for July, August, and now September. For a total of,
I got that.
Okay.
I should $27.75. Okay. So Mr. Dworsky?
Yes.
Why? Okay, did you pay rent in July?
This is, there's a lot more to it than that. I'm gonna kind of try to start from the beginning, just, okay,
No.
Okay.
Stop. Hold on, stop.
Okay.
We're not going to start from the beginning. This is the first hearing only. So I'm
Exactly.
trying to ascertain, excuse me, please don't interrupt me. So I'm trying to ascertain if you paid rent in July.
No, we did not for July.
Did you pay in August?
No.
No, we did not.
Did you pay in September?
Our rent was due on the 10th, not for September either.
Okay, so have you deposited that money into an escrow account or a separate account?
No.
Well, that's a problem. So, did you notify Mr. Quina with any issues that you may be alleging?
Yes.
We did. That was, I guess, what I meant, but.
Did you do that in writing?
Well, his wife drove by our house 3 separate times since court and spoke with us. So not technically writing, no.
Not technically writing. Of course that's not technically writing. The same way as me driving down the street isn't technically me writing my mom a letter, is it?
Yeah, she was trying to see if you guys had moved out yet, because we had asked you to move out by August 12th.
Right, you had asked, yeah, you asked us to move out 2 days after we went to court last time.
No, when you didn't pay the rent.
Stop. We're studying this for a second hearing and it's going to be in person. Bring whatever documentation you have to support whatever position you may have. So we're going to have you all come back next week, the 15th.
Not the 15th.
No, yes, ma'am. That's what's wrong with the 15th?
Oh, you said next week, the 15th. Next week wouldn't be the 15th.
Oh, no. Today's the 15th. Sorry.
Right.
22nd.
Okay.
Oh, lads, she's got enough cheek for another arse, this one.
That's fine.
At 10 a.m.
Okay.
In person, bring whatever documentation you feel that you're going to need. If we have to address something and someone's telling me, oh, I have that at home, no, it needs to all be here for the hearing.
Right.
Okay. Can you hear me? Hello?
I'm sorry?
Hello?
Oh, who's saying hello? Mr. Davis, just 1 moment, please. Okay, any questions, Mr. Quina?
No.
Okay, well, hopefully this saves and it sends. Okay. Why is this? Can somebody please ask Carly to come here? I need Carly to come here because I've never seen this show up on here regarding not having a lock on the document. What, I don't even know what that even means. Okay, so we will see you back on the 22nd at 10 a.m.
Thank you.
In person.
At the courthouse, Your Honor?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good day.
What a pile of attitude from that one. Now, you couldn't have picked a worse judge to try to pull that kind of nonsense with, because we all know she's not going to take it. Anyway, folks, I hope you enjoyed the video on this young Karen lassie over here. If you did, make sure and hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.
Out. I've given my order.
Good afternoon, everybody. The Irish Demon back with another video. Now, we see a lot of really interesting and funny things in court, but by and far, the absolute best is when you get a Karen. Now, this particular Karen comes in over the phone, so we don't see her face, but I can only imagine the face that she's got on as she screams at the judge. Let's have a good listen to this one. I'm going to need some nicknames for this lady down below.
For Sanderfield, I was in the meeting.
Okay, because the writ is sitting here, what I'm going to do is, maybe over the objection of plaintiff, I'm going to adjourn this to the 23rd. That's of September.
Your Honor, this is for Sanderfield, I was in the meeting. I kept saying I was here. I heard you say August 23rd twice on your first case and your second.
Who are you, ma'am? Why are you interrupting?
I'm Pamela Sanderfield. I kept saying it was me. You called
ma'am. You can't just yell out in the middle of court.
Oh, I thought you were done with your next case. You entered a default judgment and I'm in your case. I'm in the courtroom. I kept saying I'm here.
and you are still interrupting me.
But not to be malignant, Your Honor. I'll be quiet now.
Because your case is more important than anybody else's, right? Is that why you're
Absolutely
doing it?
not. But you
Is that
ended
why
a
you're
default
doing it?
judgment and I'm in
Ma'am,
the court.
if you don't stop talking, I'm going to kick you out of the courtroom. You cannot interrupt the proceeding this way. My apologies, Miss Harper. So you're gonna pay $900.
Okay, so for whatever reason, she didn't appear in the appropriate way and a default judgment was entered. She then shouted at the judge, interrupting the whole court proceeding, and he still gave her another shot anyway. So I'm guessing she's going to be pretty pleased and there'll be absolutely no drama whatsoever. Well, that wouldn't be the case now, would it? Because why would I make a video about that? Enjoy. Or should I say, enjoy.
Court calls the case of Old Town Realty recall. Old Town Realty versus Sandersfield. Miss Sanderfield.
Hello.
All right.
Hello.
Miss Engine last.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, unfortunately, we can hear you. People on the moon could hear you.
Yes.
Hello?
Oh, no, Miss Engine's still here. Yes, I can hear
Hello,
you.
can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
All right, there's $763 owing. Can you-
Your Honor, my balance was $525.
Then there would be court costs involved. So you're at, I permitted a judgment. What's owing on the account right now is $763.
Okay.
So how would
And that's
that
from
be
the
paid?
difference in the court cost. Well, when she submitted the order of dismissal to me, Your Honor, Miss Jillian or whatever her name is, it had said that I would be in default if I didn't pay it in 60 days and would receive an eviction. That's why I didn't sign it. Then she sent me another one, and the third one that she sent me said, point number 7 said that the terms and the conditions of the lease agreement would remain in full effect until terminated. It's not that I was evading signing the order of dismissal. It's the language that she was using, and it basically was violating my rights.
Well, if it's an agreement made between you and the owner or the manager of the property, then that is not a violation of your rights. That is an agreement to avoid a judgment having to be made. Now, if a judgment has to be made, that's going to go against you when you go to try to rent a property or buy a property or buy a vehicle or whatever. It's bad for your credit. So if anything, this would have helped you out to resolve the situation.
She said I had to waive my 14-day objection period, and I had to, if I didn't pay it all, the entire $525 within 56 days, I would get an eviction. That's why I didn't sign. I'm homeless.
I hear your reasons. I understand what rights you think you may have or are being violated. Here is the reality of the circumstance. The reality of the circumstance is you can sign that, giving you potentially additional time to do it, or I'm going to let them have their judgment for the $763, and you got to get it paid in 10 days. Those are
if I would have signed it, Your Honor, it said I waived my rights for additional time. That was in it, that I was waiving my rights.
When is the $763 going to be paid?
Well, I was going to pay it based on the initial payment arrangement, which was $300 on the 15th and then $300 on the 15th of the next month. It wasn't initially $763. It was $525. So it would have been $300 and $225.
Yes, but you didn't pay it, so fees were incurred for court processing. That's your fault.
Miss Engine.
Your Honor, I believe my client would be okay with still entering the conditional order of dismissal, which provides for payment of $300 on the 15th, and then subsequent payments on or before the 15th of each month thereafter until the balance is paid. And the balance under the conditional order of dismissal, the conditional order of dismissal did not include court costs, and so that can still say that you know, that balance under the conditional order of dismissal would be 525.
All right, so ma'am, here's what I'm gonna order. She can either sign the conditional order of dismissal. She needs to do that by the end of by the 16th. If she doesn't do that by the 16th, plaintiff can submit a judgment.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You understand that, ma'am? Ms. Sanderfield, do you understand that? Seriously? Well, Ms.
Hello,
Sanderfield,
can you hear me?
I can
Can you
hear
hear
you
me?
now. Did you hear what
I
I
was
said?
asking. Yeah, I wanted to know which one did you want me to sign? Because Jillian sent me 3 of them.
The terms that were laid out by Ms. Engine indicating that you're to pay the 300 and then you got to pay on the 15th of each month till the balance is paid.
Yes, I will sign that one because that's the one I was agreeing to. But it's like I said, it stipulated eviction if it wasn't paid in 56 days.
Get it signed or a judgment will enter by the 16th. Thank you.
Well, that seems pretty clear cut, right? Just sign it, get it paid, and then move on from there. I'm sure she'll be perfectly happy. Oh, wait, no, she won't, because she's a Karen. She knows more about the law than the judge does, and the lawyers do.
I'm not signing nothing that's going to make me evicted because how is that fair?
Ma'am, you said
I've received 3 of them, Your Honor.
Miss Sanderfield.
I'm trying to ask you which one did you say I can sign? Yes, it's Dr. Sanderfield. Don't you want to be addressed as Your Honor? I'm sick of the state of Michigan violating my rights and abusing me.
I'm done. I've given my order. That's it.
You haven't even stipulated
those are your
which
choices.
dismissal I can sign.
Kick her out. I've given my order. I will start the next block momentarily. Folks, give me about 5 minutes, please.
What rights is the state of Michigan violating right here? Your right to not pay rent? Your right to blast into court and make all those demands after you didn't pay rent? They didn't have to give you an agreement. They could have just went straight for a judgment and had you kicked out. But no, they gave you an agreement. You don't understand it. That's your fault. Now, you would think it would all end there, and a poor old judge would be able to get the break he was asking for. But no, that couldn't happen.
I will start the next block momentarily. Folks, give me about 5 minutes, please. Ms. Engine, have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll see you at 2 p.m.
Your Honor, I don't mean to cut you off or be rude. I know you're having a crazy day right now. I just know that.
But now you're going to interrupt it and add to it, aren't you?
No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna let you do you.
Good. I'm going to take my 5-minute break. You really want me to because you don't want to talk to me right now.
No, take your break. I'm sorry. Take your break.
Very good call there, my friend. Probably best to let him go and get caffeinated and then deal with it afterwards. Now, Judge Simpson always has a great nature, and as you can see, even here, he's smiling and having a bit of a laugh, and I really respect that about him. When people start acting the maggot, he's very quick to drop the hammer on him, but when people are good and well-behaved and normal and kind, then he's just the same. Kind, warm, and fun. I think that's a great way to run a court, but he takes no nonsense. Anyway, folks, I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure and smash that like button, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. Consider becoming a member of our Patreon, hitting that thanks button down below. And if you'd like to support my trip to the United States in a couple of weeks' time, have a look at the old PayPal link down below. Really appreciate it. We'll catch you in the next one. Sláinte.